Hello, hello, come in. It's been a wee while since you've been back in the garden at home, hasn't it? It's been ages. Do you know, the thing is, I started filming this video a while back when it was all sunny and lovely. And now, as you can see, it's quite cloudy, it's wet, it's been raining. Right now, England and Wales are still having heat waves, and I think they're in droughts. But as you can see, we're back to normal services have been resumed and we're getting heaps of rain. It's not hot, but it's not cold at least, so that's a thing. Anyways, we're back at home today. We have to have a wee chat because I have to talk to you guys about something, but we'll do that later. For just now, I want to talk tomatoes because I know loads of you guys are worried and anxious and think you've done something wrong because you're having a bit of a poor year with tomatoes. So I'm getting so many messages from you guys asking for an update on mine. And you'll be pleased to hear I'm not having the best year either. We've only just in the last couple of weeks started getting harvests, and it's not the big basket loads we normally get, let me tell you. So let's start right here with what I've been calling my grow towers recently, the green stalks, my vertical planters, because I have got tomatoes planted in these that are the outdoor tomatoes. So it's all varieties that specifically have a short season for growing outdoors in Scotland. And because they're in these planters, grown up the way, they're specifically micro plants or dwarf plants, so much smaller plants. Now, I have had a few cherries and one larger, almost beefsteak size. No, I wouldn't call it beefsteak. It's more like a big salad tomato. However, there are a lot of green tomatoes on here. So I'm having problems telling you what variety is what because, as you know, I did lots of new ones this year. These are the tiny tigers. This is the entire plant here, as you can see. So it's a bit of a micro plant, but it gets these decent sized fruit on there. You don't get massive amount. So there's about, when this is finished, there'll probably be about 4 trusses, each with about 5 tomatoes, kind of this decent size. But I do love these, the flavour is awesome. These, reliably producing, but as you can see, I've not had a harvest yet. I'm going to talk to you about why in a second. These ones, grew these again last year. Blue Zimmer Tomate. So these will get a kind of rose blush as well as the dark purple, almost black, when they're ready, and they'll all be about this size. Again, micro plant. So not an enormous plant. So there to there, okay? Get loads and loads of tomatoes on that. But again, I've not had a harvest yet. If I take a wee step back, there's a lot of dwarf plants on here, but they're all cascading. So we're going to go down here. This one starts up here, and you'll see there's some going this way, some branches, but they generally will fall like this one. So it's great for this vertical planter. It's brilliant for hanging baskets. But this is my Mongolian dwarf. I've got a few. This is the smallest tomato on these. This plant has not been great so far, you can see, that's it. However, I've got more round the other side that are doing much better, and we'll go to those in a second. This one, Shimofuri, these have been the last to produce tomatoes. Now starting to get tomatoes on them, and there's another plant round which has been in lots more sun, has heaps more on it. But again, none of these have given me a harvest. Next to it is Whippersnapper, and again, doing awesome, and that's what's up here. Lots of little cherry tomatoes on there. Again, no harvest. So you're getting the theme. So if I spin for you, you can see Shimofuri, lots of tomatoes, and the Whippersnapper. Tiny Tiger starting to colour up. But you can see the state we're in. Now, I told you I've got Mongolian basket on this side. The green stalk got left sitting, it wasn't getting turned, so this side was in a sunny spot for ages, which is why they're ahead. But this is the size of the Mongolian baskets. So these are ones I told you, these get quite big if you give them the space. But from a tiny plant, can I move that? So there you go. So you can see these are really, that's a good sized tomato. Almost there. And then again, whippersnapper on this side. We have had harvest, so I've had 7 or 8 from this already. And you can see there's loads of tomatoes there. But this guy, this has been my biggest disappointment. But I feel I should clarify. This is the dark dwarf multiflora. I expected a much bigger plant with way more tomatoes on it. I was expecting a whole cascading thing going on here, and this is it. That literally is a whole plant, that's all I've got. However, there's not a lot of tomatoes, but the ones I have, oh my God, they taste amazing. So I'm disappointed in the size of the plant, but the tomatoes are stunning. And if reliably that's the size, I'd happily have a whole tier of those in there because they're worth it for the flavour. Now, second green stalk has a few tomatoes in it, not a lot, but again, Blausimer tomat. And there's a few that I brought home from Scone, so it's not stuff that I had planned to grow. So it's plants I had no idea about and didn't know what to expect. So this one is Gothic, Micro Gothic, and I've had some harvest from that. This is Micro Tigerette Yellow, and you can see really small plant for size, but decent size, large-ish. Well, it's not quite a cherry and it's not quite a salad tomato, but yellow. So looking forward to those. And again, lots and lots here, but nothing harvestable yet. Let's find the label. That is the Maglia Rose. So again, I was expecting much more of a trailing habit from that one, and instead it's just a little micro plant. So that's the state of play with the tomatoes that are outdoors. William, Kate is currently making your dibbers that you've ordered. That's what she's doing just now. This wood, that's going to the plot. That's so that I can make a roof over my compost bins that I can then put guttering on and collect rainwater. Right, we're going into the greenhouse. Now, I'm going to put you down. I just have to find a spot. Oh. The problem in here is there is string everywhere holding plants up. Now, oh God, it's hot in here. Tomatoes in the greenhouse, there are many, many more of them, as you would expect. But again, even these guys, they only started producing in the last few weeks. I think I've been harvesting from in here for about 3 weeks, maybe 4, maybe, but it's been little and often, okay, rather than the big, huge baskets I was getting before. So in here I have a little cherry here, standard indeterminate cherry. Sugar drop, that was a gift. That's been fine. I'm just getting nice little sort of tomatoes that I come in and eat rather than huge handfuls like before. Next to it, I have Sputnik. Now, Sputnik, I found lots of confusing stuff online. Some sites saying indeterminate and some saying determinate. I grew it as a determinate, and I think that was a mistake because they're everywhere. They just went mad. And I've had to cut so much of it down because it was just ridiculous. So many tomatoes on it. And it was the first one to start giving me ripe tomatoes. And I've had more from that than any other plant. The one next to it here, which is an indeterminate plant, is the San Marzano, but it's the San Marzano that are a bit special. So it's these huge, big tomatoes. So it was a bit of a tester for this year. So that's the San Marzano Roederta. These massive big tomatoes. But again, hardly any tomatoes. I'm so disappointed. We haven't had the ripe one yet. I've got 4 or 5 indoors that are almost ripe because I'm finding they're so big and heavy, they're falling off the plant just as they start to ripen. So they're getting taken indoors. And next to it, this one here, which again, lots and lots and lots of tomatoes on the plant, but we've not had a fully ripe one yet. That one's almost ripe, and there's another one indoors that's almost ripe. This is the Carol Rich. Peppers behind me. Now, I really, really wanted to show you the peppers because it's the same problems with the tomatoes, and this will let me then tell you about it for everyone that's grown any of these types of plants. Normally, I have basketfuls of peppers, and I would have basketfuls of ripe peppers by now. Instead, I've not had a single ripe pepper, and each plant has 2, maybe 3 peppers on it, as you can see. Unheard of for me. Completely unheard of for me. Just try to find a good spot to put you down. So there's a reason for the tomatoes and the peppers and why you guys might all be having such a rubbish year with them too. And it's the heat. We have had ridiculously unprecedented heat again this year. Worse than last year, and it seems to be the last couple of years now. Even here in Scotland, we are having way more heat waves. We get a heat wave that lasts like 1 or 2 days. It's not a long time, but it is generally way hotter than we normally get and so much drier. So we've got all this rain just now, but we went for like, I think it was 4 weeks with no rain whatsoever. It has been just crazy and it's not what we expect. And it's that heat that's causing the problems because tomatoes and peppers are the same. If it gets too hot, they don't set fruit. Those little flowers just fall off the plant. And then you're starting from scratch again. You need to get more flowers going, get them pollinated and fruit set. And if you've got weeks and weeks where it's really hot, that really puts you back. And now it's the same thing. If it's too hot, they actually don't ripen, believe it or not. So the whole thing with this heat is what's causing the problems why everyone's having such a sucky year with things like tomatoes and peppers. So we're starting to see them come in now, but it's way longer than I'm used to seeing them. And they're coming in on a much more sort of dribs and drabs basis. But that doesn't say we don't have any. We've got a big bowl full indoors and we've done huge tarts and things already. It's just not quite so varied and not quite as exciting as it's been in previous years. But there you go. Now, something that has been happening, because I know I haven't been around for a little bit, guys, and I'm going to talk about that because there's a good reason for it. And that is going to inform the wee chat we're going to have at the end as well about what's going on. But what you have missed then is massive garlic harvest, which I gave you a wee clip of and told you that I had rust. And that meant that I harvested everything early. So the garlic's not as big as it should be. But that rust has also appeared on my leeks. So I'm not happy. And I have a whole bed full of leeks that are looking amazing. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to leave them as my plans were to be able to just harvest as I go and have them over winter. It may be a case they all get harvested much earlier than I'd hoped. But I'll see. However, one thing that has been absolutely brilliant and I can't complain about, and part of it is above me, is my onions. Back to growing my onions from seed, back to Ailsa Craig and Red Baron onions, and they have been glorious. Massive Ailsa Craig, massive Red Baron. So I didn't count, but going by, I did count actually. Oh, I did, I'm lying. I did a count while they were all out on the floor, and I think I got 2. No, I can't remember, so I'm not going to lie to you and tell you. But just, it's hunters, right? But look. Up here, drying, is all of my red onions. So if I do a rough estimate for you, there is about 5 per row, and there's about 8 rows, and then there's the stragglers at the end. And they are all fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. But I can hear that Kate's lathe is off. So let's go and I will show you the other ones, if I can, because the Ailsa Craig onions are in the shed. I'm going to have to move these. Your dibbers are here, William, but you're not getting to see them. Nope, because that's between you and Kate. But I've seen them. Right, okay, so you ready for the Ailsa Craig? Covered in a dust sheet because Kate's turning. But as you can see, look at that. Not bad. All nice big onions. All fabulous. So they're all in here drying. So yeah, Kate did a cosmos wall. Look at that. Just look at that. Isn't that just fabulous? About us not having rain for weeks and weeks and stuff. Look at the lawn. And it's actually looking better today than it's looked in a bit. The front lawn as well, it's just absolutely awful. But we actually decided, especially with the front lawn, we decided a little while ago that it takes so much work and so much watering and feeding and stuff that we said for the front, we're just not going to have it as a lawn anymore. And we've just left it. We had started the process of turning it into a clover lawn, but even the clover died in the heat waves and the drought. So yeah, so let me talk to you guys because it's kind of important. Okay, time for a wee chat. Now, I know over the last couple of years, I have been less regular with the videos and I've taken a few wee breaks. And also, the types of videos I've been doing, I've not been following the same structure I've done in previous years with a big step-to-step grow-alongs and following everything along and stuff. And I know that I've had quite a few comments from you guys over the last few weeks, and people have reached out on Instagram and stuff as well, just asking, you know, are you okay? I've not seen a video in a bit. Now, without going into too many details, because this channel has never been somewhere where I've kind of like shared my private life and what's going on, but the last couple of years my dad has been battling cancer. So it has meant that there's been times where I haven't felt like making videos, or the garden has had to come second because, you know, my dad's had to take priority, obviously. But it's kind of come to its head, and sad news is that we actually lost my dad just a few weeks ago. He had been beating the cancer, it was looking really good, but unfortunately we lost him unexpectedly. So as you can imagine, that's really hit me for six and it's taken its toll, which is why I've not done a video in a few weeks. It has made me really think and, you know, just kind of think about the amount of time I've spent making videos and just the time in the garden and how much time I generally have to do all the kind of things, which is why I'm glad I've been taking those breaks when I needed them, because I think it's really important. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, because I know it will disappoint some of you guys, but I'm actually going to take a bit of a break from YouTube, a bit of an extended break. I'm not going to put timescales on things or what have you, but I just think I need to take the time that I need for me and focus on me and the time that for me and Kate and, you know, family, friends, and my garden and my plot and stuff. So I'm going to take that wee break. Now, I'm not going to disappear completely. So I'm still going to be doing loads and loads on Instagram because it's a very different format and it's much quicker and it's little pictures and clips and stuff rather than the big involved videos like these types of ones. So if you guys don't want to miss out on your fix of just Eli talking nonsense, then I heartily recommend that you come over and just follow us on Instagram. Yeah, if that's your kind of thing and you want to see that. I'll still be doing the short form videos there and there'll be photos and updates and stuff all the time on there. I do a lot more on there. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on, not just disappear, and just so you understood the situation I'm in. But yeah, Kate's calling this the Great Wall of Cosmos. So that's it for me for just now. And I'll see you on Instagram if you pop over there. But good luck with getting those tomatoes and peppers going.